Hello, everybody. Welcome into the Bitcoin Made Simple podcast. I am your host, Corey Tusick. You should get yourself a Bitbox O2 hardware wallet. More on that right now. But this week we're going to talk about the price of Bitcoin is ripping. So I think we saw it go up 10K in a week. It's getting interesting. Talk about the inflows of stuff on the ETF, and then also wanted to get in a little bit of entrepreneurial talk about going with the flow. So with all that being said, you want to go to bitbox.swiss/Bitcoin Made Simple. Use promo code Bitcoin Made Simple to get 5% off. And you'll want to use that 5% off to stack more coins, but then you use the simple, easy to use Bitbox O2 hardware wallet. And I still have right here, I'll show you guys again, the nice, new, sleek Bitcoin orange design. So you're going to get one of these. I mean, seriously, if you look at this, if you're watching the video, this is a touch screen, or a LED screen. It's touch sensitive on the bottom and top. It's that simple. Plug it into your computer or phone, wherever you're doing it, and you send the sats there, and then you're good to go. And then also, Movies Plus. Go to Movies Plus, buymoviesplus.com. Use promo code Corey, CORY. I'll tell you what, I'll give you guys a little secret. Send me a DM, and I will send you guys a free subscription for a short period of time. Got the okay for that, so do that. If you haven't signed up already, I'll send you a short trial free subscription. Yeah, so the Bitcoin price is currently at $62,000, which is like perfect timing because, I don't know, maybe a week or two ago I said that the price of Bitcoin was not going to, I said it's just as likely to reach all-time highs by the halving as it is to go back to the 30s. You never know. Can't plan anything. Again, this isn't financial advice, but my typical advice is to only buy Bitcoin with money that you can afford to put away for a handful of years, and it's a great savings account. Don't buy it with money that you need tomorrow, because if it drops 20% and it's going to bother you, then don't buy it with that money. Immediately then the price started to rip. We weren't in the 50s for too long. And then, it was funny because it was getting near the 57, and everybody's like, oh God, here comes the 58K gang. Remember, like the 58K gang? If you're on Bitcoin Twitter, you get that. And then the price just blew through that. So it went straight up to 60 something. And yeah, I think Big Sean Harris posted on Twitter and said, I think the 58K gang like slept through it. Like they literally did. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we will see an all-time high by the halving. All I can say is that it's not a guarantee, but it's pretty, it's about to explode. Bitcoin is about to explode. Bitcoin is like it's like a beach ball, and you're trying to keep it underwater. And it's felt like that for years. And this is like crazy timing with the ETF happening. Now people on Wall Street can buy Bitcoin that they couldn't buy before. And it's happening right when the halving happens. So the supply shock is going to hit the Bitcoin market in April. The supply of Bitcoin, every block reward, you guys all know, is going to get cut in half, which means there's less of them at a point where there's increased demand. So again, this is not financial advice, but these are the ingredients that would cause the price of Bitcoin to explode. Will it? I don't know. Like I said, even now at 62K, all-time high was like $69,420. Haha. Yeah, it was like 69,000. I think it was like almost basically $420. Uh, and we're only, a 10% jump away roughly from all-time high again. A lot of currencies that have gotten weaker have actually all seen their all-time high again. But yeah, in US dollar terms, hasn't gone above 69K, but I don't know, maybe now there's a 30% chance that it doesn't break all-time high and a 70% chance that it does before the halving. And if it does, hold on to your butts. Holy cow. So I don't know. I don't know what to think of this price action, but what I've seen people posting online is that there is a massive amount of money. So what's happening with the Bitcoin ETF is that there is a massive amount of money showing up to buy the Bitcoin for their ETF, and there isn't enough Bitcoin to buy. Let's just say hypothetically they want to buy 10,000 Bitcoin and there's only 1,000 available. Guess what that makes the price do? Right up. So this shouldn't be a surprise. And like Hodl Magoo actually even said this really good. If you guys follow him on Twitter, and he said the ETF news might be the first time that Bitcoin didn't have a, what is it, buy the news and sell the event or whatever, a buy the news event, whatever. However that works. I'm too brain dead to think that through and say it properly. But this might be the first time that happened. And it is just, it's not really market FOMO as it is. Like, that's the crazy part about this, is that like the contagion hasn't really spread. People weren't like, oh, Bitcoin, Bitcoin, Bitcoin again. The contagion hasn't spread, but you have people, if there's only 10,000 Bitcoin available for sale, but there's people showing up trying to buy 100,000 Bitcoin or more. I tried to find the tweet. I couldn't find it in my limited research ahead of this. So, yeah, that is what is most likely causing the price to go up. And looks like the ETF people were right. That being said, again, I've been in Bitcoin long enough to know that it could very easily just plummet down to like 20K, and I'd be okay with that because then I could buy a bunch more. And which the point that, like every Bitcoiner, you're always trying to get back to the original stack that you had. Oh God, like the guy that I've seen this tweet like resurface all the time. I got to do the math on it. So there's a guy that had 1,700 Bitcoin. He posted on Twitter, and he said he bought 1,700 Bitcoin at 10 cents or 3 cents. 1,700 Bitcoin at 3 cents. So it was $51. So he had $51 worth of Bitcoin. So 1,700 Bitcoin, and he sold it whenever it got to 30 cents, I believe. And so that's turned $51 into $510. But he said, I can't believe I sold it then because Bitcoin is now at $10. So he was like, no, I could have had $17,000 if I hadn't kept my 1,700 Bitcoin instead of selling them. Let's do a little math here. 1,700 times $62,000. $105 million. I'm not saying you'll experience the same upside, but don't sell. Just hold, hodl for dear life, and hang in there. You're getting there. We're there. You can put them on your Bitbox O2 hardware wallet, and then you'll know you're all right. We're so close though to this next. I'm giddy about what's going to happen at the halving. I'm excited to see what happens. But the lesson there is, if you have a stack, just keep in mind that maybe you won't have that much of a stack anymore if you walk away from it. So don't walk away from it. Hold on for dear life, and try your best to not lose it. Yeah, because I still have it etched into my brain the amount of Bitcoin that I had at one point. And I'm not saying like I didn't sell because I was being stupid. It's sold for practical reasons. I had to. Business was tough. I got to keep the ship afloat. I was not financially as well off as I wanted to be. So, the stack went down a little. And as the price goes up, you're just like, God damn it. We are not, like, I don't know. How am I going to get back to that stack? Still doable. I'd like it to be, I love a flash crash. Like if we could just crash down to $20,000 again, I'd be cool with that. I don't know if we ever will, though, to be honest. But it could happen. As I sit here and I have a silver coin that I won in a poker championship. That's right. Oh, I just told everyone not to play poker against me. I can't. I'm not the greatest poker player, but I can't hustle you. Don't worry, I wouldn't hustle you. So yeah, just do everything you can to keep your stack. If you have to sell it for practical reasons, I mean, you got to do what you got to do. It's the way of the world. But don't be getting crazy and selling your stack. Don't sell your stack if you think I'm gonna sell it and buy back cheaper. That is the scenario that you don't ever sell for. So we shall see. But yeah, it's just crazy what is going on in the Bitcoin world. I also want to talk about, which by the way, if you can't see, if you're watching the video, I got my Michigan National Champs hoodie. Got it for my birthday, which happened recently. And I mean, it's not a secret. You can look at me on IMDb. You'll see my my birthday. But yeah, I turned 38, which was weird because like 2 weeks ago when I was like, oh, my birthday's coming up, I was like, I think I am 38. Like, oh no, I'm turning 38, which shows how old you are if you're not sure what age you are and which one you're turning. Anyways, wanted to talk a little bit about going with the flow. This is more of like entrepreneurial advice, but really could be life advice in general. Is it just to be open to possibilities, be open to where you want things to go, because you don't know what doors are going to open to you. So for example, like the Bitcoin mining, natural gas world, like something I'm super excited about, and that's led to this, that, and the other thing. And then, the one natural gas provider said to me, he said, hey, I have this opportunity for oil wells, do you know anybody that would be interested in buying oil wells? And I'm like, I might know a few people. And that seems to be going like it's a really legit opportunity, and it's like, I don't know, I guess partly I'm in the oil and gas business now. Um, I mean, if you're an investor who wants to get into that stuff, then you know you should do it, especially because we're trying to do a Bitcoin angle here. Won't be able to turn the oil into Bitcoin, but there are Bitcoin mines available, um, or natural gas mining available there. But you know, that's kind of where I've been. Like, I mean, obviously, Movies Plus is my main focus, and I had to be willing and like before that. I've told the story before. I was selling movies, producing some movies, enjoying being in the background. Didn't really like being in front of. I mean, I still don't really like being in front of a camera. Haha, as I'm sitting here on a podcast that's video recorded. I've gotten more comfortable with it, but it's something I wasn't interested in, and I had to step outside my comfort zone. Saw an opportunity to start Movies Plus. Do I really want to do it? Is it a smart idea to start a streaming platform? Most people would probably talk themselves out of it, but I went with it. Just went with the flow, and that's where it took my life. And so I talk about it like every year in the summertime. I go to this adult league softball team that I play with, and I mean, every summer since I went out on my own a decade ago, I sit down next to the one guy my age, went to high school together. We just he's like, still in business? And I'm always like, yep, I don't know how. Not quite sure, but still am. Every year. So, you just got to keep chugging along. And even I have, like, this podcast, I would have never thought to really do it. Then I thought I wanted to talk to people. That's why I started the podcast. I wanted to talk to people about Bitcoin and learn through asking my own questions. And then it just took on a life of its own. And then I got, sponsors, and, now, I mean, Bitbox now has been a sponsor for 2 years. And also, Bitbox and I are we're doing a podcast meetup tour. So if you go to a local meetup of yours, send me a DM. I have a couple earmarked as to ones I'm going to go to, but that's something we're doing. I'm going to go around, interview people from the meetup, and then hang out. And there'll be Bitboxes there, and it's just going to be good to meet some plebs all over the country. But be open to everything. Be open to that. Be open to I have the sports podcast that's going to start in like a week or so. And they it's one of the local NHL team, the Pittsburgh Penguins. The beat writer for them and my comedian friend, and it just started out of nowhere. Like, I think last summer, the beat writer posted a picture from vacation, and I was 90% sure it was the same vacation house I was in. And so he messaged me because I mentioned a comment like, I'm pretty sure I was in that house, and he asked me where we went on vacation, and I said here, blah blah blah. And then like a couple weeks later, I was like, I wonder if he'd do a Twitter space about hockey before the season starts. He was down, so we did it. And if you follow me on Twitter, you've seen me doing Steelers Twitter spaces. I still pop my ear into Bitcoin Twitter spaces, but I don't feel like I have any input or advice to give, so I don't really feel like talking. But yeah, anyways, we did 2 Twitter spaces, a lot of people listening, and he messaged me after the second one and said, hey, like, I think, I want to start a podcast. I think we should do one. And I was like, all right, let's do it. So it seems to be coming together. Being able to go with the flow, see where everything goes. that is, a entrepreneur that I know that I was working with on some projects early on. I'll never forget these words he said to me. He said, "Ever the opportunist." That's what you are, Corey. You are ever the opportunist. Um, and I've always stayed that way, and I think it's a good way to be, because then you're gonna miss out on opportunities if you are not ever the opportunist. So, with all that being said, get yourself a BitBox O2 hardware wallet, and I will talk to you guys later.